the Kayak Fishing Obsessed podcast. We'll be sitting down with a fresh guest each week. Someone who shares the same kayak fishing passion that runs through our veins. We're talking kayak anglers, kayak companies, lure experts. Heck, anyone who's got a story to tell about landing the big ones from a kayak. We're setting our sights on becoming the #1 kayak fishing podcast in the world. You'll get a chuckle, a grin, and hey, maybe even a belly laugh. Because we believe in the power of humor. But above all, we're here to educate and inspire. So, whether you're a seasoned kayak angler or just dipping your toes into this exhilarating world, join us on the Kayak Fishing Obsessed podcast. It's time to reel in adventure, camaraderie, and the joy of the catch. Here's your host, Darren Wendell.
Fish freaks, welcome to episode number 136 of the KFO show, Kayak Fishing Obsessed. And tonight, you guessed it, it's got to be a banger. And we're going to be talking about something that might make a few of you a little uncomfortable. What if the reason you're not catching more bass isn't the lake? What if it's not the weather? What if it's not even the fish? What if it's you? And more importantly, what if artificial intelligence could actually prove it and help you fix it? Well, tonight we're diving into something that's pushing right up against the edge of what bass fishing has always been about: instinct, experience, time on the water. But what happens when you take all of that and layer in AI? Well, we've got the guy who built it joining us tonight, Sean Riggle, the mind behind Bass Thumb AI, a tool designed to take your fishing data, your patterns, your conditions, and turn it into real actionable insights on how to catch more fish. But before we jump in, real quick reality check. It's spring, air temps are warming up, sun's out, feels like it's go time, but that water, I know at least around where I'm at, is still very cold. And that gap between air temp and water temp, that's where a lot of people get themselves in trouble. And what turns a good day on the water could be bad real fast. So here's the deal. That's not just something that we mentioned. That's one of the core things we teach inside of KFAST, Kayak Fishing Advanced Safety Training. Understanding conditions, reading risk, knowing when things look safe but are not. And so if you haven't yet, go check out KFAST at kfast.co, take the basic course, and get certified. All right, guys, the question I've been waiting to ask all week. Wyatt, still got a job, brother?
So it's kind of on pause because they can't actually fire me right now.
Oh.
So in between all of my taking time off to go fish,
yeah,
I've had jury duty since Friday. Actually, since Wednesday. Since this past Wednesday.
Gosh, you actually have to go in every day, or are they like canceling it?
I've been in every single day.
All right, so you've like been selected. You're going through like
yeah. I've been whatever the legal term is, embarred. So someone in here who's a lawyer can tell you, but I've been set in the jury, so I have to show up and be there from 8 o'clock in the morning. Well,
you're part of the jury.
In the morning. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Yep.
You can't talk about it at all, can you?
I came back. I came back from a tournament. I was at work for like 3 days, and then I was like, "Hey, I have to leave. I'll see y'all hopefully soon." And it's been a week tomorrow.
That's amazing. So a week ago today, Wyatt was supposed to be at work, but he's decided not to go and just to be late and show up to the podcast instead. That's dedication, folks. That's the co-host that I want on the KFO show. You're the man.
Yep.
I love it. All right. So for those of you just tuning in, you might be like, what in the world are we talking about? We have a little bet going that Wyatt's not going to have his job by the end of the month, end of April. So we will see. We will see what happens. We got over and under. I don't think Wyatt even thinks he's going to have his job by the end of April. So we will see what happens.
My boss, I think, is officially back, but I don't know because I still haven't been there.
Well, we will be chiming in next week and the week after. We will figure this out. All right, folks, let's bring our guest on tonight. Sean, welcome to the show, brother. How you doing?
Hey, fellas, doing well. Thanks for having me.
Well, I'm excited about tonight. I know this is interesting, and I would imagine you probably run into this from time to time. Like people in technology and bass fishing, a lot of times have a really strong opinions on it. I always even get a lot of like comments like, "We don't need more AI in bass fishing. We're doing just fine." Blah 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 blah. And I've heard it all. Right. At the end of the day, we're not stopping technology. and you can grumble about it as much as you possibly want. It's not going anywhere, and people will always be adopting it. But this is, I think, what people think tonight's going to be about. It's going to be a little bit different than you thought it was about, because as I was getting to know kind of what you do at Bass Thumbs AI, I realized it wasn't probably what a lot of people think it is. So really quick, let's back it all up. I love to share a little bit of the story. What was the I've had enough moment where you said there has to be a better way?
Yeah, absolutely. And before I get into that, we'll give a plug for KFast. So being a year into kayak fishing, I was, signed up for KFast after hearing about it from Darren. And I was on the couch, completing my basic course. And my wife walked up. She's like, "What are you doing? Like, whose videos?" Because she hears Chad Hoover's voice. She's like, "Who the hell is that?" I was like, "Oh, I'm taking a kayak safety course." And she's like, "That makes me feel better when you're out on the water." So if you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for your wife. Like, she will feel more confident in you going out.
And make sure your wife walks in the room while it's playing as well. So there you go. That's the real key right there.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So how I got to like making Bass Thumb, picked up a kayak. Ben grew up in the middle of Pennsylvania. I fly fished all my life. So right in the middle of Pennsylvania are some of the best fly fishing in the country. And, really end up, going into bass fishing, catching smallmouth on the Juniata, the Susquehanna rivers. But there's not a whole lot of lakes in the middle of Pennsylvania. So fast forward in life, like kind of stepped away from fishing. Life got busy, had kids, all that stuff. Picked up an Old Town PDL 120 a little over a year ago and started fishing lakes around North Jersey. And actually, North New Jersey actually has a ton of lakes. They're incredibly highly pressured because there's a bunch of lakes. There's a ton of people too. Yeah. And I found myself throwing the same lures, same techniques on lakes that I did on rivers that, led to a lot of success, caught a ton of smallmouth over the days. And I was getting skunked. And I was like, all right, this doesn't make sense. What is going on? So being a bit of a technology and data nerd, I started using Google Sheets, writing down where I fish, what lures I throw, what rod it was on, what line it was on, what the weather was, moon phase, all those things, and end up putting that into a large language model and generating insights of like, hey, maybe try this technique, during this weather condition. And after doing that through Google Sheets and just a large language model, I'm like, well, I have a background in technology and app development. I'm like, why don't I build an app for this? I can't be the only person that's having the same type of problem.
Yeah.
And that's where Bass Thumb AI was born. I looked across a landscape of fishing apps that were out there. I didn't want to use something that burns my spots and shows, hey, here's where I fish, here's where I caught fish. I wanted something to build something where it's private to you as an angler. Okay. Like what you caught them on, where you caught them. That is your data. It's private to you. And then just, actually build something that I want to use as an angler. So that's really how it came about.
It's interesting because there is a subsection of anglers who track everything. I mean, they love doing what you just shared, and they've been doing it on paper, and they've been doing it with sheets, and they've been doing it on, Google Docs, and you name it. And with the onslaught of a lot of these apps that provide opportunities to track it, and so a lot of people have kind of moved over to that as well. But I think you've taken it to the next level. So when you say language model, I'm actually just curious. I'm not a tech nerd. I'm not someone who tracks all of my catches. What do you mean by that? Obviously, it's synthesizing all of this data into something, readable or understandable. But I'm just curious. Walk us through what you did there.
Yeah, when you talk about AI, what most people talk about is large language models, ChatGPT, Claude, Grok. There's all kinds of large language models. What they're really, really good at is bringing in a bunch of data, identifying patterns. Okay. So you can log your catches and not only see, hey, what's working for me, but also pull from data that's out on the internet, like what's working for other people. So when you think about the learning curve in fishing, a lot of it is knowledge. One of the things AI and large language models do is lessen that learning curve in time. Like nothing replaces time out on the water in real fishing. Like I will never argue against that, but just preparing and being confident of like, what are you tying on? Here's where you're going. What are the conditions? How many rods are you taking? Are you fishing from the bank, a boat, a kayak, a canoe? Here's how you can approach it. Here's what you should tie on based on where you're fishing, what time of day, etc. Like we build that all in. But I want to hit on the logs because that's one of the things that I end up doing. It's a lot of work to try to log, what you caught, the length, looking up the moon phase, pulling in weather conditions, pulling in barometric pressure, pulling in barometric pressure phases. We do all that for you.
I was about to say I'm done. I barely want to take a photo of the fish and upload it to Fishing Chaos.
Oh, totally. So all you have to do, it's always good to take a photo of your fish because we all like taking pictures of the big ones, like because you can remember them. But you essentially just put in your when you caught it and the location, and we pull in all the other data for you. So everything from, is it overcast? What was the weather like? What's the air temp, water temp? We're having a little bit of challenge with connecting to USGS to pull all that in. It's one of the things I used to do preparing for river trips is always look at USGS water flow data. Is it above the normal? Is it right about the normal? Like, how do you prepare? Pulling in humidity, wind speed, which, hearing from the guys from the Science of the Strike, wind speed is one of the most number one factors of are you going to be successful that day. I think their number was right around 7.9 based on, professional tournaments. Pulling moon phase for guys that are closer to tides, like, what's the tide doing? Is it going in, going out? 3-day warming trends. We pull in all that for you so you don't have to do it. Like, we make it simple. And what that does is that
all open source information, or are you literally like developing partnerships with certain?
Yeah, weather data is all open source, and USGS is a great partner. There's actually a lot of apps out there that just pull open source USGS data and charge for it, which to me is like, that's kind of crazy. Like, you're pulling it directly from USGS, like water flows, water temps. Like, you aren't sampling that yourself. You're pulling it from USGS sites. So that's what we're doing. We're pulling from open source data, weather providers, barometric pressure providers, and bring it all into your logbook.
Yeah. So what's one of the most frustrating things that you see with apps out there, right? You're like, oh man, this is really giving apps really a bad name in the fishing world. You mentioned spot burning, but there are other like pet peeves of yours. You don't have to name the app, but you can name the features of apps.
Yeah. Spot burning is a big one. But the other one is when they get super specific of like, hey, you have an 80% chance to catch your PB in this spot this day. I think that is total bullshit. Like, so it's like, come on, that isn't real. But people buy into that. But it's like that is not accurate. It's not applicable. So what Bassum's about is taking how you fish, what you're fishing, identifying patterns that are working, what isn't working. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you, Bass AF. But then also pulling in recommendations. What I've heard from some of the people that have used it, some early adopters, of like, hey, I always stick with my same 5 baits that I throw. And as they've logged catches, it'll kind of say, hey, if you're successful with a Texas rig, why not throw a Nico rig? Or if you're successful with a Ned rig, why not try a Nico rig? And so on and so forth. Like, instead of going with a spinner bait, maybe try a bladed jig. Sure. It'll give you all those patterns and recognize alternatives that you can try out. All right.
Wyatt, are you a tracker? Do you track all this stuff?
I track like location, especially this time of year. So I pull up my Google Photos and it pins all the photos that I've ever taken, and I'll use that like this time of year to show me how far back in the creeks I need to fish. So I know last year I was fishing a tournament, and I practiced for 3 or 4 days, and I pulled up all my fish locations, and they were primarily like the first 200 yards inside of pockets or inside of, creek arms, things like that. And that just narrowed it down so much faster. So I could just, fish the first 200 yards, jump across, fish 200 yards coming out. And then just, it just speeds up the practice process. So other than that, I don't track too much other than locations.
Yeah. And why don't you track more than that?
I like to go out there and just kind of beat my head against the wall sometimes.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. Let's just call a spade a spade. Yep. But our part of our job, like our core, motive is make that easy for you.
Yep. So I downloaded it. It took less than 2 minutes to download, and logging a catch looks like it'll take me less than a minute to throw one on there. So
one of the features we actually built in is bulk loading. So you can go back, search in your Google Photos for bass or fish, and just select all the photos.
Right.
Yeah, they're all timestamped, and it'll pull all that in for you. So you have a jump start.
Oh, so this isn't just like, oh crap, I'm halfway through the season and I really wish I had all the information for the past 6 months. You can literally go back and select, and then boom, How far back can you do that?
Let's see.
I've done it as far back as a couple years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
you
back
could,
like 3 years.
okay. So this gets really exciting. So for someone who's like, oh man, if I don't want to start doing it now, it's going to take forever for me to start building, an actual case for support and for the, coalesce all this information to give me actionable data. You're saying, holy crap, if you want to, you can go back and select, you bulk uploads on 1,000 fish and boom, it's going to give you all the juice.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't have the exact date and time. That's a little bit more tricky, the exact location when you do bulk upload.
Okay.
But usually when you take a picture on your phone, it has like the location data. It's a little bit tricky to pull that. So that's one of the things that's on our roadmap for a couple months from now. Yeah. So you can bulk upload. We'll pull in the exact time and location. You don't have to put any of that in. Then you can go back in, put the lure, if you remember that, the lure color, level of the water column, top, middle, or bottom. And then it populates everything else for you.
All right.
Yeah, I just threw them in there just a minute ago, and it's got the times and everything on there.
Oh, you're gonna create more of a monster. We don't need to give Wyatt any more juice out
there. Yeah, he's gonna be all first place now.
Good.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of I'll have a little bit of free time whenever they fire me. So
oh my gosh, so good. Here's a question from the audience listening from Jared Booth, 9382. What about water visibility? Like how clear, clean, murky, muddy? Because it's my understanding that this is hard to pull on the regular because it's pulled from satellites, right? And then one, it could be really, really expensive to get that access because it's satellites. And I know a lot of app companies, what they'll do is they'll take instead of buying like the whole lake, they'll just take they'll buy a little section of it and they'll just apply it to the entire lake, which we all know that's not how lakes work. So walk me through, did I nail that or am I off a little bit?
No, you're spot on. So we don't have water clarity in yet because it's expensive to pull in. Like you have to get the right provider, get the right contract. If you notice, it's free right now. But we do have down the road, like if there's some paid things that are just more expensive for us to pull the data, absolutely we'll build those in. Like one of the things that
what's free right now?
The app itself.
The app's free? I was gonna hold on to this question. Everyone keeps asking the question, how much is it? How much is it? How much is it? What's the cost? And you're like, we're just giving it away. You're like freaking Kayak Jack. He's like, I make all these lures. How much are they? 32 cents, and it's yours.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Why free?
We were able to make it free because myself and the other guy that I work with, it's just two of us that have built this whole thing.
Yeah.
Like we have the skills to do it. We don't have to pay a team to do it for us. Like we go fishing, we use it, we make improvements. So we're able to provide it for free. Like there is overhead costs of like the servers to run it on. Every time you call AI, it's a couple cents. But our plan is like longer term, build in some paid features like water clarity. I want to integrate with Navionics because I still use my Navionics app on the side. Would love to incorporate that into our mapping features. But the core of fishing apps, it's really, you can break it down to 3 phases. It's planning, logging, and learning. And one of the things like why Bassam AI, a lot of the apps right now focus on planning. So what's the water clarity like? Where am I going? We started Bassam AI to focus on the logging and learning side of things.
Sure.
We're not ignoring planning. Like that's coming up, later in the year and really, focus on that. But it's really, log your catches, learn from that. The analytics view, even if you're a tournament fisherman, like really, really impactful. I'm kind of looking at my app on the side, all my fish, like the majority of my fish are caught under 30 bars of barometric pressure.
Okay.
So I'll tie it to like the science of the strike guys. Like we have a lot of that data. And one of the things you can do now, because it's still free, we'll probably make it a paid feature in the future, is you can pull your data and see kind of how you're catching them, but you can pull everybody else's data as well. You don't get to see what they caught them on, where they caught them. But if you want to see thousands of catches that, does moon phase matter? You can start to answer that question. Does barometric phase matter? Does lure color matter? You can pull out, you won't be able to see like who actually caught it, where did they catch it, but we can aggregate some data that isn't burning any spots or giving anything away.
Right. Just to answer scientific questions that people have been wondering for a while. How much does this matter? A lot of people will regurgitate something they've heard, and enough people do that, and it sounds like it matters, but does it actually? And that's why I love Science of the Strike. By the way, just book Science of the Strike again. hopefully have them on every like other month for all of eternity. I loved having those guys on. Also, Wyatt, as you notice, I got good internet. Had that installed yesterday.
Yep,
I
very nice.
fired my old internet company, and so good to go there. I love it. Oh, Wyatt's like, I don't have good internet. He's like, I'm out of here. I'm out of here.
You internet shamed him.
Yeah, I did. He's like, all right, I don't have good upload or download speed. I'm out of here. Real quick, you mentioned, we'll hop back into this. If you have a question for Sean, go ahead and throw that in the comment section. I will star that and we will get back around to it. It's a funny comment from Steven Sturgeon. I don't want to be here to hear this one.
I fired mine just now.
I know. We thought we internet shamed you and you bounce off. Wyatt,
found out my mouse has extra buttons. So.
Oh, that turns off your computer? That's weird.
I don't know if I was holding it over something, but
all right. Learn new things every day. Steven Sturgeon said, Wyatt, where do I send my entry fee? Might as well cut out the middleman. Oh my gosh. This is awesome. Real quick before I ask that question, I got another question from Chris Lasdens coming over from Facebook. So if people don't know this, like I stream to 8 different places at once. And so whenever I say like, oh, like right now we have 65 people live, which is awesome. Thank you so much. Hit that like button. But you might be on Facebook like, what are you talking about, Darren? You only have 15. No, it's all coming into one central location here. So question we got from Chris Lasdens, will you be able to pull weather history as well?
Yeah, absolutely. That's in there now. It's in there today. So even when you upload prior catches, you get to pull in, will pull in for you the weather of that day. You know, back up to, I haven't tested out completely, but I pulled in pictures of fish, you know, some 21-inch smallmouth from 3 years ago in the Susquehanna. You know, the things that I'm really proud of today. 21, you know, 23 would be it.
You're a freaking animal. What in the world?
No. But it pulled in all the weather data for me. So it's like, yeah, you can start to identify that pattern. It was overcast, which no surprise to anybody.
Yeah.
One other thing that's really cool about the app is we partner with the guys from Dark Horse Tackle to build in a seasonal challenge. And what that does, if you sign up for it, again, it's free for right now. Any of your catches, once you sign up, we review them. If you take a picture of it on a bump board or a measuring tape, then we will allow you to fill out the game board for, you know, is a fish 15 to 17 inches, you get 1 piece, 18 to 20 inches, 3 pieces, 20 plus, you get 5 pieces. And it's really a self challenge right now. But what I like about it, and I use my own app, is it really pushes me to catch bigger fish. So like going along that curve of like, hey, I'm just out looking, catching numbers. I'm like, no, I want to fill up my game board, compete against my friends. So I'm really targeting bigger fish. Yeah.
Steven Sturgeon asked the question, can you pin the app so we can see it? Really, you just go to your Apple and it's Bass Thumb. Is it Thumbs or Thumb?
Bass Thumb AI.
Bass Thumb AI. And you can go download it for free. So if I got a couple people coming in midstream here, like, hey, what app are we talking about? Bass Thumb AI. If you just look next to Sean's name right here, it is right there. So
yeah, and you can go to our website, bassamai.com. We're on iOS and Android. So pretty easy to find.
Yeah. So you mentioned early on in the show, and this is Kayak Fishing Obsessed. Let's talk about your Old Town PDL Pro?
PDL Sportsman.
PDL Sportsman. Wyatt loves this. As you can see, he's wearing a Old Town hat, Old Town jersey. He's got an Old Town tattoo on his neck. And so he is all in. All in. Is that an Old Town shirt under your Old Town jersey? Is that what I just saw?
Oh,
yes, it is. Oh my gosh.
I'll spare you all the Old Town boxers they sent me. So,
oh man, they went all in on their merch. My gosh. So walk me through, out of all the kayaks known to man, and which I think is wild, there's like 3 new companies this year coming out of left field. Like Camino Journey is now available. So that's a completely new kayak company. FluxJet just started shipping. And then you have Voya X just coming out with a new kayak. We got new kayak companies. This is going to be a wild year. I look forward to getting my hands on some of these. But out of all of those that when you bought it a year ago, why Old Town? Why not Bonafide? Why not all the other? There's a lot of options out there for you.
Yeah, the Old Towns, they're tanks. Like I'm 6 feet, 250 pounds. Like I need something that's stable that I can stand up on. And so watched a ton of videos, did a ton of research, and it's what I landed on. I love it so far.
Yeah.
It's been really good to me, but I do plan on picking up a flux jet. Put in my pre-order back in January. Hopefully it ships by October, because the one thing it isn't great at is skinny water. Yeah, like that. They were booked out, man.
Good.
Yeah, but their shipping's been delayed, so hopefully they get it out. But I'm really excited for the flux jet. But love the Old Town. Like, it is great for lakes, bigger rivers. Just mounted an anchor wizard on it, this past weekend. Had the fish finders. Really enjoy the PDL drive. Like, the thing moves, like, easy to control, and it's super, super stable. Yep. Like, what sold me is the video of the guy on, like, I forget who it was, but it's Bearded Dad Fishing, one of those guys. He's in his swimming pool, like, walking around trying to tip the thing, like going up on the bow, going on the side. Like, you'll fall off, but that thing probably isn't going to tip. It's a bit of a tank. But the other thing I'd also say about it's like, you have to have some muscle to be able to move that thing around. Like, some of the spots I take that in, like hauling it down, kind of bank faces, like 250 yards, like it's a bit of a haul.
Yeah. I was just out in my Old Town PDL Pro today, and I think it's a monster. I wish the handle wasn't like on top, because it makes it really, like, I put native sidekicks on it. I don't know if you're even supposed to do that, because I don't think it's rated for it, but I do it anyways. But this thing it's hard to manage when you do that. But my goodness, it was really windy today, and it was freaking sweet. And I love the drive. Like, I used to run a Propel drive because I had a Native Slayer Propel 10, and then I had a Bonafide P127, which is the same Propel drive. And this one's quieter. It's quieter than the Propel. So I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. So pretty sweet. All right, we got some questions over here. Steven Sturgeon Wyatt says, "Hope you don't show your Old Town tramp stamp." Yes, we all. Oh no! It's gonna be. I got to hit the X-rated button, and I don't want to do that. So please don't. Old Town. Oh, we don't think we've ever done this before. Let me know what kayak you were running in the comment section. We got an Old Town fan here from Trevor Wagner. What's up, brother? Good to see you. We keep on seeing each other at the same boat ramp at Gunnersville every single year for nationals. So let me see. Bass AF 817. So I helped the guy carry his. Dang, that thing is heavy.
I fished my 136 on the Susky last year.
Yeah,
dragging that thing across rapids and everything.
Oh, I hear you on that. I've been there.
So are you gonna get a river kayak, Sean?
Yeah, I was between the Bonafide RVR and the Flux Jet came out. I really like the Flux Jet, like jet drive and skinny water.
Sure.
So being able to have a motor on it, like, and especially if you're fishing by yourself on a river, like, if you're not fishing with somebody else, it's a challenge, right? Because like where you put in, you have to get back to it. So excited about the Flux Jet to be able to do that.
What has blown my mind, and this is not a slight, and this isn't a slight on anybody who got it and is waiting for it, but how many people bought this thing without having like any information outside of what they put out there?
Sight unseen.
That is, it's like buying a house sight unseen. It's not, they're $3,000, $3,500. And so I really hope this thing comes out and it is as wonderful as they keep telling everyone it is. And I guess we'll know really soon, because they shipped out their first half of their January orders. So this will soon be hopefully a very, very good experience for everybody. But that was kind of wild for me.
It was a leap of faith for me. I'm like, this is an expensive kayak.
Yeah.
But you only put 500 down, which is not trivial by any means, but you pay the balance when it gets closer to shipping.
Got it. But it's not a refundable half G, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So
that's why I'm like, all right, you guys need to start shipping this pretty soon, because I don't want to be off $500. Like that would be put the hurt on me.
Yeah. And originally they were 3,000, right? And then they moved up to 3,500. Is that correct? That happened sometime early on. I'm not sure when, but all right. We got someone over. We got the SS 127 from the real Jim Jones, rocking the Nowhere No Share profile pic. Appreciate you. Natives Hammer. Hope to get my hands on one of those someday. Low Life Angler is rocking the Native LTE due to the weight. He's putting that thing on top of his car. I like it. Kayak Jack's got two. He's got the link in the Outback. If you missed the show last week with Kayak Jack, man, he really just downloaded a bunch of nuggets of truth on the Neko rig. So if you're like, hey, never fished that before, you want to dial that in. Whoo! And Wyatt, you on Saturday were fishing it. So walk us through your download. Was it something that you fished a lot before? You're like, hey, Kayak Jack, Marty inspired me.
I fish it a lot on Murray. That's one of the few places I like to throw it because it's clear water. There's a lot of skittish fish and stuff like that. I don't throw it a ton, but I did take some of the stuff that Marty told me and I worked through it because it always made sense to me to rig the hook like this on the Nico rig. That way, walking across the bottom and whenever fish bites it, I feel like the hook would get him in the mouth better. But Marty told me to rig it. Let's see if we can get it. Yeah, rig the hook like that, and my hookup percent, like my landing percentage, went significantly up because I had those times whenever I'm fishing it, and I'm like, I feel like I'm losing more fish than I should, like more fish than just to kind of get that sixth sense, like maybe I feel like I'm losing too many fish on this, so I changed the hookup, and I lost 1 out of like 15 fish. So
yeah. Says, which is wild. He's like, yeah, out of 30 fish that I caught, I definitely could tell a difference. It's like, you are an animal. Friggin' animal. Yeah. I gotta hate you right now. It's still super cold, windy, or raining here in Ohio. It's been a tough start. I don't know about you as well, Sean, but usually I can start getting on the big ones early, like March 11th. But my goodness. And I even have the ability to fish like throughout the week, and it's still been a tough go here in the Northeast.
It has been cold this year, kind of up here in the north, but that led to one of the features I added in. So you don't catch fish unless you're Wyatt every time you go out. Like some of the times you get skunked, but there's a feature, you'll see it, like log your skunk trips. So learn from the times you weren't successful, put in what you threw, what you tried. And one of the things our AI will do is say, hey, you weren't successful at doing this, this, and this. Maybe avoid this spot, maybe avoid these weather conditions. Like, it's really powerful.
Well, all right. I like it. It's like the post-mortem, but you're just doing that. So this is interesting. We're going to get more into the app. I got a bunch of questions there. Let's go over here to the comments. Got a PA14, Jared Booth, Steven Surgeon answering the question about the Flux Jet. I'm 65 and haven't taken many chances. Time to take a chance on the Flux Jet. Heck yeah, brother. Like I said, really hope that works out for you for sure. Chris Lasdens, just bought my new Canoe Unlimited today. That's awesome. Ran a feel-free lure and an NC Flint for a while. Did you get the Unlimited Max or just the Unlimited? I got to go pick up my Unlimited Max here in just a little bit. So I'm excited about putting that into the fleet. You got SoCal Fishman, Semper Fi, SS127. Thank you for your service.
Yeah.
Got an Unlimited, got an SS127, PA14. What I love when I'm reading through this is people are listing off like 2 or 3 kayaks. They're listing off their fleet. I remember when I first got into it, I was like, oh man, I wish I just had one. I'm looking around, like all these guys have like 3, 4, 5, and they're $15,000 rigs. I was like, can I just get one, please? I just need one. You could Wendell's got 7. Jerk. Give it to me. I love it. Kayak Jack said he's still filling orders from that podcast. Oh, I love it. All right.
Yeah, Kayak Jack, thank you. I'm one of those orders, so just got my weights today, so I really appreciate it. Looking forward to getting out there, throwing some Nico rigs.
So here's a question for you, Sean. And like I said, those listening in, if you have a question about this app, free app, by the way, when does it stop being free?
Yeah, so the plan is to start to do freemium. And what that means is we want to have all the fun. Well, one, if you sign up today and you're getting all the features that are in there today that cost us money to run, we're not going to take that away from you. So being an early adopter, definitely a benefit.
You're getting grandfathered.
Yeah, exactly. But I would say probably later in the year as we start to build features that just cost more money to make calls to AI providers, weather condition providers, things like that, getting a little bit more advanced, we'll have to start charging a little bit for it.
So I think once Marty signs up and starts logging 2,000 bass a year, he's going to have to start charging.
Yeah, exactly.
Fortune. You don't know Marty and his administrator. He used to be an administrator.
Sitting there, ding, ding.
Yeah.
Ding.
Oh, he might skew the LLM's analysis a little bit. It might just say, throw a Neko rig, throw a Neko rig, throw a Neko rig. It's like, Marty, you're throwing off the data here.
Go tell your wife, hope she likes ramen noodles, because Marty's going to wipe you out. freaking love it. So what, you don't have to answer this as like, hey, this is like the business type of thing, but I'm really curious, like you mentioned it costs a couple cents to do this and I mean, is that how that works? Or do you have like every time you tap into like an AI feature? I'm wild. That's wild to me.
Yeah, every time we make a call to like OpenAI or Claude, so one of the AI providers, it costs a couple cents.
Oh, how many?
Right now we're.
So every time like you make a call, does that mean every time I like upload a fish or something like that, it costs a couple cents? Or how's that work?
Not a fish. So anytime. So there's two key AI features. One is the AI trip plan. So you say, hey, create me an AI trip. I'm going fishing in this spot on this day from this time to this time. I'm fishing from the bank, boat, kayak, canoe, targeting these species. It'll create you an alert. How many rods are you taking? It'll create you a plan of, hey, try loading up, tie on the night before your rods this way. That's always good to prepare. Saves you time when you get to the water. And gives you an hour by hour plan of what to fish where, which rod to use, gives you some ideas. Like that costs a couple cents for us to do. Same thing, there's an AI coach assessment. It looks back over all your catch history and says, hey, here's what's working well. Here's patterns that are successful. Here's what's not working well. Here's our alternatives to try. It'll even say, here's some new techniques to try. And it actually links to Wendell fishing videos to learn those different techniques. So
that hack job,
that costs
everybody on the internet to choose from. And you chose that no talent clown. Man.
Yeah, exactly. Got to start somewhere.
OBS and the Nico rig is going to be the only thing it suggests anymore.
Yeah. When someone, it's going to cost them a couple cents too to listen to the ad. So I get a couple cents every time someone watching one of those videos. I love it. So you mentioned like, good. Finish your thought because I have this written down. I won't forget it.
Yeah, I see a question from Bass AF. So any species of fish, absolutely. Like it's geared towards bass fishing. Smallmouth, spots, largemouth. But when you're out fishing for bass, especially on rivers, you're going to catch walleye, you're going to catch pike, you're going to catch pickerel, you're going to catch bluegill. You can log those as well, and it'll give you the analytics for those species. But it's heavily geared towards bass fishing.
Yeah. Who's your? Do you work with your friend who helped you get this up off the ground?
Yeah. So when I graduated from college, started a career in software development. I started like on a Monday. He started on a Wednesday. So I would say, hey, you're number two. But it's just been the two of us getting off the ground. He's really my Android specialist because I'm an iPhone person. To get up and running on Android, needed some help, and he's more technical than I am, candidly. So one of the things we're going to lean into later in the year, and this will get a bit in the technology weeds, is agentic flows. And what that means is we can create essentially AI bots that are experts in like lure color, lure selection, pattern recognition, get really specialized AI agents or bots. He's going to help create that in the orchestration layer. So the AI knows what to call when to provide the best guidance and advice.
You just use a lot of words.
It's going to be science of the strike.
But it sounded.
Well, here's the beauty of it. You don't have to know a thing about AI to use it. Like even my wife's a marketer and she's like, do you want to have AI in it? I'm like, for now I do, because I think it's a separator. But you don't have to know anything about AI to use it. That's the beauty of it. Like you don't have to open up a prompt window, do any of that. No prompt engineering. You log your fish and you put in where you're fishing. You ask it for advice and it gives it to you at the click of a button.
It is all working in the background. So this is the beauty of, if you're like, hey, I don't understand all this AI stuff, but you don't have to with this app. And it's free. Did not think that was going to be free. Bass AF has probably the most important question of the night. Does it suggest a cigar selection? That's what I need to know. I
mean, I'm
road mapping.
I'm a loyalist to my Monte Cristo whites. So
come on now.
I go, like Monte Cristo whites, it's the way to go.
The recommendation every single time.
Yeah, exactly.
The
other thing I love about it, it's me and my buddy, we're avid bass fishermen. Yeah. It's built by bass fishermen for bass fishermen. It isn't some app that was outsourced to some other country to develop or an MBA project, things like that. It was really, hey, I want this to help me catch fish, to log my catches, to generate insights. And I have a great partnership with the guys at Dark Horse Tackle. Like, they're awesome. So Zach and Ryan just went down and took first place at the Kayak Adventure Series down in Tallahassee. That a 17-hour truck drive from Tallahassee back up to Pittsburgh in Ohio. they gave me tons of ideas. Like they just hit me with a whole notepad of ideas. I'm like, thank you. That's what I love about it. Like, log into the app. My email for Bassam is sean@bassamai.com. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. If you have any ideas, like, hey, it would be cool if it could do this, let me know. Like, we'll put it on our roadmap. We see if we can build it. We can't say yes to everything because there's some things that are just like might cost like $500,000 to build. I'm like, no, we're trying to like take the low hanging fruit that we're able to build that's core to our mission. But yeah, give us ideas. Like, what do you want to see? Like, if you had a magic wand, what would a fishing app do? Like, we'll take that and we'll try to build it in, and we'll give you shout outs for doing that.
How much time do you spend on this, like, after work? Because this is a side hustle, right?
It is a side hustle. I have my day job for a demanding company in financial services. I also have 2 young kids, 3 and 6. So this is a nights and weekends.
Yeah, this is late nights and weekends.
Oh yeah, it's usually around this time I log in, start doing development, look at the product roadmap, do social media marketing. It is a nights and weekends thing. I like to tell my wife I'm in founder mode. Kind of gets under her skin. She's like, "Hey, can you help clean the house?" I'm like, "I'm in founder mode. Can't."
Oh, I'm sure she loves that.
But it's also been a ticket too of like, "Hey, I need to go out and do market research. I need to go fishing more." So yeah, I get to go in fishing market research, which I kind of love. She's like, "You're doing this whole thing just so you can go fishing more." I'm like,
no, founder mode.
That's not the only reason, but it might be a small factor.
I need to use that on my wife. Hey, I'm in founder mode. I'm in entrepreneurial mode. I just don't think it's going to work. What works for you guys? I love it. All right. Let me see here. I got a couple questions over here. Does it work for saltwater fishing? I'm assuming yes, but
yeah, it does.
Any nuances?
I mean, saltwater fishing, the tidal flows are in, but saltwater fishing is a different animal, than freshwater fishing. I actually get this question a lot. The core foundation of the app, maybe a year from now, we create a saltwater version. It's just different species. You're dealing with different factors. Like it's a whole other game.
Yeah. Okay. Good. We got another question here from Keith McGee Outdoors. Just joined in tonight. But can it differentiate between angler styles? For example, some people prefer to power fish, while others prefer more finesse applications. Is there even an option or is it's just calculating all this information?
I tell Keith, congrats on winning the tournament this past weekend. He just fished a local tournament right around here, and he won it this past weekend. So.
Oh, congrats, brother! It's freaking awesome. That's a donkey fishing profile pic.
Yeah, congrats, Keith. Not right now, but one of the features that's coming up in June is onboarding. And what I mean by that, we're going to build in, what platform do you fish from? What's your style? What do you like to catch? So we can tailor the AI device a little bit more. But absolutely, it's one of those, one of the things we could add to the analytics and insights is how are people catching fish? What's more dominant, power fishing or finesse fishing? Break it down by season. Absolutely. So I'm writing that down to add to our roadmap. So thank you, Keith.
No, I like it. So here's, I guess, back it up just a little bit, right? Not everyone had a chance to download the app or upload fish yet. So walk me through a typical fishing trip using the app. What happens before, during, after, and then it's a 2-part question. What kind of recommendations is the AI actually giving? Right. Obviously, probably lures, location, timing, all kinds of other things I'm probably not thinking of.
Yeah, I use it as a second opinion for where I'm going fishing. So I put in where I'm going fishing, the time, start and end, how many rods I'm taking, give me a plan. And so that helps me tie on the night before, get prepared, get the truck loaded up, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the planning part of it. And then I go in, and when I'm fishing, I take pictures of the bigger fish that I catch. Ideally, I take a picture with the lure with the fish on the bump board so I can remember what I caught it on. But a lot of times I'm only catching 5 or 6, so it's kind of easier to remember. I'm not like Wyatt that just goes out and casually catches 30 fish is a general day. But then I go home and input the lure data. So go in, log the catches.
By the way, someone's like, is it easy as just tapping photos and then do a bulk upload, or is it a little bit more technical than that?
That's it. It's super easy.
Really, it's as easy as selecting 5 or 6 photos and then sending them off an email. Boom.
Yeah, I would say to load a catch probably takes about 10 seconds, 15 seconds.
And that's just the upload time.
I mean,
get the stopwatch out. That's upload plus entering the information. It's pretty simple.
Okay.
And that's what we're all about, making it the log and catches as simple as possible.
All right. So what recommendations is it now giving? You talked about it a little bit, right? So we have lure, locations. What else is it sharing with you that someone might be surprised? Like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, one of the things I like about the AI trip plan, it'll look at the weather, the moon phase, etc., and give recommendations based on that. So like, we know if water temps are cold, fish might be a little bit more sluggish. It'll give lure specific to that. So it brings in those seasonal factors, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Like, we can look it up and we can use our own brain, but I never take the plan. Like, whenever you're working with AI, and this is a general recommendation, always be the human in the loop.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's giving you, don't follow the plan exactly, but take some of its advice. Like, it knows what it's doing. It can do pattern recognition, and then tailor it to how you want it. Like, what lures you actually like fishing. It might, recommend a spinnerbait. You might go with a bladed jig. Do it like that. Like, use its advice. It might give you a different perspective, but always put your own spin on it.
Yeah. So this is something I would love, for it, like, send me a notification if I can put in triggers, right? For instance, I'm fishing the river and I know that river is awesome at 350. And it's going to be in the next 12 hours. If I could put in, is there certain parameters that I could set it up where it like sends me a notification like, hey, your perfect conditions that you love to fish the rivers on is coming up in tomorrow morning at 8:00 a.m. Is there things like that?
It's not in there yet, but it's on our roadmap.
Okay.
So really say, hey, you're planning on fishing this spot. Here's what worked for you last time. Like, this is when you fish this type of river, these similar conditions. Here's what really led to your success. Yes. Or your lack of success if you're getting skunked.
Sure.
That is on our roadmap. We call it kind of micro coaching. But yeah, absolutely. I just I'm literally writing ideas down as we're talking.
I like it.
Notebook problems. Sometimes you can't get away from pencil and paper. Yeah. Being able to send notifications like, hey, here's conditions you've been successful. Here's where you like fishing. Like, give you a nudge to get out there. Absolutely.
Okay. Here's some questions from those listening in. Can you input the amount of time you have to fish? Like for trip
planning, yes. Yeah. But one of the things we have on our roadmap is if anybody's used the app Angler, like, they have some good features, especially for river fishing, to go from point A to point B, log your catches along that route. That's some of the stuff we're looking at down the road. And one of the things that we want to do to make logging catches even simpler is do voice integration. So you might take a picture, you don't want to break out your phone, but just say, hey, log a catch of the picture I just took. It was on a Texas rig, green Senko on the bottom, like as an example. And that's some of the stuff we have further down the road.
Oh, wow. So can I ask the question? And I guess I can ask any question. I'm the host. You don't have to answer it. But you talk about this roadmap. Obviously, you don't want to give away your entire roadmap. But what are some things that, if you would be willing to give away, some things you're like really excited about?
Yeah, one of the things I'm really excited about is the agentic AI coaching. Like, that'll take it to another level.
For the layman, what's agentic mean?
That's the AI bots that are super specialized in giving advice on a particular thing.
So how does that make do you program that person? Do you like create like a, like ChatGPT, you can create a GPT for certain things.
You do that, plus you give it a bunch of data. Like, if you think about like a lure recommender or lure color recommender, it can give it a lot of data, similar like research from the guys from Shrines to the Strike look at. So it is a very smart AI, because what a lot of large language models do now is just pull from the internet and the wealth of information. But you can say, hey, start with what we told you about, center around that, then scour the internet for other ideas. So it makes them really specialized.
So you're placing really the core, and then they go scrape the internet for other reputable sources. Fascinating.
Yeah, you place the core, it looks at your data, and then brings those together. And then if it doesn't have enough information, we'll scour and pull in other information and recommendations.
Huh. Fascinating. Wyatt, what's going through your mind, brother? What questions you got?
I'm just trying to figure out a way to integrate this to like. It would be so cool if you could just get everybody in a Bassmaster event, 200 people to log all their fish on one body of water. And that way, anytime anybody comes back to that body of water, you can just pull up just thousands of fish catches on one body of water. And you just, hey, I'm showing up here on this date. Tell me where to fish. It's just like this lure and this type and this depth level and stuff like that. Man.
So
yeah, that's actually... We're going to build that in. I'm not going to be able to get like all the Bass pros to use it, but that's one of the things we have on our roadmap that I'm excited about too. And this came about from, my business partner fishing up on the St. Lawrence River. And he's like, you're talking to guys at the ramp and they're telling you, hey, this is working, this isn't working, kind of simulating that. It's like, hey, how do we pull people that have fished this lake, how they've been successful, like lure recommendations off that. So a little bit more local to lakes and rivers. Yeah, that's definitely on our roadmap.
How long has this app been available?
So we went live on iOS back in January, and then we went live on Android the first week in March. So it is an app infant. Let me say it that way.
Yeah. And initial feedback, what are you getting? Good and bad? Because you can't be perfect out of the gate, right? Let's be honest.
Yeah, a lot of the feedback's been around the analytics and ease of logging catches, like how good that is. And like different lure recommendations, people are liking that because they'll kind of say, hey, I didn't think about this, or I stick to my 5 same lures.
Yeah.
Recommend some things. But our mapping isn't great, candidly, because that's one of the things you have to pay for more advanced maps to make those really good, to add in different layers, partners with Navionics. So that's a lot of the feedback we get, like, hey, could your maps be better? And yes, but that's a little bit further down the road, and that'll be, a not free version. Because we can't, eat a $25, $50 Navionics subscription as an example and provide it for free.
Right.
I can't go lose the house over developing an app. Let me say it that way.
What's the most expensive part that you would actually love to pull the trigger on right now, but you can't because it's like, my gosh, it's cost prohibitive on so many different levels?
Yeah, I would say Navionics integration. So it's one of the things that I pay for my own subscription. Would love to incorporate that. Like looking at depth maps, being able to see your catches on a depth map, using AI to identify the patterns. Like, well, we have in top, middle, bottom, but if we can get down to specific feet things we're caught at, like that would be huge. Like that's the one thing that's cost prohibitive right now that I'd love to include.
How much something like that costs? Based on users?
Yeah, it's based on users. I think it's what kind of negotiation power do you have with Garmin? Like right now with a couple hundred people using it, I think they kind of say, hey, piss off. You're not worth our time.
Talk to you later. Right.
Yeah, exactly. But a couple thousand, I think they'll talk ball then.
Okay. Interesting. Wayne Wright's got a question here. Is it available in Canada? I'm on the other side of the St. Lawrence.
Yeah, absolutely. It works anywhere. Like not specific to the US, not specific, to North America. Works pretty much anywhere. We don't have, I'm assuming you're an English speaker. We don't have different language integration. Like it is in English. So that's the only caveat right now.
All right. Awesome. Keith McGee, Outdoors. So many videos break down bass fishing lakes by either being a highland or lowland reservoir. Will the angler or the app be able to log the water body type?
Not yet, but I'm writing that down is something to add in. And one of the things we'll be able to do,
walking away with a crap ton of work, Sean. My gosh, that's like 7 long nights, not being able to get any sleep. Love it.
Yeah, exactly. But one of the things I'll do is not make you put that in. Identify based on the lake, what type of lake is it? So trying to make logging easy, not have to enter more data. We'll look that up for you.
Yeah. Okay. I like it. What's up, John G. Wilson? Thanks for hopping in. You got Hunting and Fishing Oklahoma said, I just downloaded the app. I like it.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Like it. I talked about feedback. Now, the other question I have is like testimonials. Those are fun. When people's like, hey, I actually used what I put in and what you've created to coalesce into inputs that actually had helped me catch my PB or a crap ton more fish. Are you starting to, I know you started in January, so you'd have to get people down south. But now we're entering in, Wyatt's been catching fish for a long time. What's that type of testimonial feedback you're getting?
Yeah, so just about every month, I try to reach out to a handful of people that are on the app via email. Just ask, like, very candid. What do you like about it? What don't you like about it? Is it actually helping you catch more fish? Because that's what really matters. And what would you like to see in it? And so I actively engage people that are using it. I also have an advisory board set up of a handful of people, some guys from Dark Horse Tackle, a guy that's a fishing editor, Outdoor Life, a tournament bass fisherman, Armando from Bass Kayaks and Beer. So I have a handful of people that look at our roadmap on a quarterly basis and say, hey, here's things that we think would work. Or do they agree with the direction we're heading? So it's just kind of a pressure check from a swath of people throughout the industry to see if we're heading in the right direction.
Yeah.
So I get feedback from active users, but also from a board of advisors.
Okay. Wyatt, any questions?
Not so far. I'll say Chris right there has a question about integrating lake maps. Like, have you played around with like Smart Strike and things like that? Is there any integration that can be done with that?
Yeah, that's where I was looking at Navionics, because in my opinion, it's one of the best out there. So would love to integrate Navionics into the app. Yeah. To really get the topography of the lakes. Yeah.
I know, like Humminbird has a Smart Strike where you punch in, you say it's cloudy, you're fishing for largemouth bass. I'm fishing, the bottom half of this lake, and it's cold front conditions, and you punch that in on the map, and it'll highlight sections of the lake that you should check out.
He's writing a ton of
yeah. I'm writing it down.
I love it. This is like your think tank. Everybody here, you're making this app even better. So this is awesome. Here's a question I have for you, Sean, and it's one that kind of goes outside of the box of what we're talking about. But Fur Fishing has a question here, and I've always wondered the same question, because when I went to Humminbird a couple of months ago, I asked their R&D, like their lead guy, about when AI is going to be integrated into fish finders, and he's like, AI is already integrated into fish finders. Like, well, this is what I mean is like really integrated. Like, you don't have to think. You can just buy a fish finder that's connected to AI, and you can just type in, I'm on this lake, where should I go right now? And it's synthesizing all this information that's pulling from everywhere. Is that, how far in the future is that, do you think? Now, granted, this isn't necessarily, I guess it could be for what you're doing here, because if you could, as long as it's personal to the person, it's not being shared with the world, I could see how that could be wildly effective if that's integrated also with fish finder technology and sonar and, Live 360 coming out here soon. Like, what's your thoughts on that?
I think we'll see that within the next 2 years.
I mean, who's going to come out with it first?
Possibly Humminbird. Like, whatever company leans into it, I think one of the things they'll have to do is Bluetooth integration with the phone to a specific app. So as phones get more powerful, they can run local AI models like on your phone as a device. Like, link that up to my kids give me stickers on my phone.
Yeah, it's
they
cute,
know
man.
I love fishing, so they give me fish stickers. Works great when I'm in big professional meetings at work. They're like, "What's on your phone?" I'm like, love my kids. They know I love
100%.
fishing.
I love it.
But yeah, as soon as they can get integration with the different devices to run an AI model on your phone, because I think trying to build into fish finders would be really expensive. Like, that's not their wheelhouse. So run that locally on your phone, hook that up to your fish finder to give you like really, really good insights and recommendations of where to go, depths, etc. I think that's in the next few years. The pace of change around AI is mind blowing.
Wow. This is going to be crazy. Someone just wrote, I honestly don't understand why anyone would want to use AI for fishing. This type of technology is ruining fishing, in my opinion. And I guess everyone's entitled to their opinion. I don't think it's ruining bass fishing. I haven't noticed any uptick or downtick in the amount of bass that I'm catching. Like, it's been pretty steady since I've been fishing for the last 5 years.
I think one of the things it does, like, hear your perspective.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
But it gives you a little bit more confidence being out on the water, or what you're throwing, lets you learn about, what patterns are making you successful. I think that's where it adds value.
Yeah. That's what I like about your app. It's not like taking everyone else's information and then saying, hey, this worked for everyone over here, and they're all like just putting in random information. It's not even true in the wrong places just because they don't want to share all their spots, and then you have a bunch of junk data. So how do you keep up with that, right? Not having junk data. How do you keep this thing squeaky clean so it is literally like to the T going to be wildly effective for that angler?
Yeah. So that's where I need to, on our roadmap, is creating an AI agent to look at the data to make sure things are valid. Like, we don't want people putting in, hey, I caught a 90-inch largemouth as an example. That can start to skew the data, things we present. So using AI to look for things that are in like bounds of reasonable data, like data ranges.
Yeah.
So that is on our roadmap, just to keep the data clean. Like, we won't be able to challenge everything, but things that are egregious, absolutely, we're going to pull that out.
Yeah. Okay. So what's the biggest improvement you've personally seen using your own system?
Yeah, really trying different techniques, like not sticking to the same things that I think work.
Yeah.
Like really challenging me to throw, we mentioned Nico rigs. Like, that just was never on my radar. I was always a Ned rig person. It's like, hey, I'm going to start throwing a Nico rig. I was recommending that. Really throwing a lot more jigs. So not a huge jig fisherman, but it nudges me every time. It's like, one of your rods, you're going with 4 rods, tie on a jig. I'm like, okay, I have to try more jigs. But the other thing is with the challenge is really catching bigger fish. So, and that also plays into the fact of lure condition. I probably spent way too much money on big swim baits this year, getting into the mag drafts, a bunch of stuff from Dark Horse, like really big baits to catch big fish. Yeah, exactly. The glide baits. I think that's the biggest thing. One, it made me select more lures, like different types of things that are out of my comfort zone, but also targeting bigger fish, which is one of the things I like to do. Yeah.
No, I've been teaching the unconfidence lure for a very long time, because most people, if not just about every angler I know, like they're known for their one thing that they really love, right? And they're wildly successful at. And most of the time, once you're wildly successful at something, especially if it's catching bigs consistently, you're like, why would I use anything else when this is working so well? Eventually you get to the point where like, okay, I caught a fish, a lot of fish, I like catching big fish, catch a lot of big fish. Then you get into lure specific fish, which you've been doing this for a long time. You'll eventually be like, okay, I know I can catch a bunch of big fish, but I really want to catch it on this really weird lure that I've never used before and dial that in. It's wildly it's really satisfying to do that. So what you're saying is, if I'm using this app and I've never fished with a Neko rig, it could potentially recommend the Neko rig to me for this particular.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll look at, where you plan to fish, lures that you're using. So Neko rigs and Ned rigs, you can somewhat use interchangeably, not all the time, but it might recommend that.
Yeah.
The other thing that challenges people to use different lures is our seasonal challenge. So we partner with the guys at Dark Horse, identify for each season. So right now we're kind of in the spring. What are 5 lures that you want to try to catch fish on? So that's also a way to extend the challenge of like, instead of just going with your same 2 or 3 things, like instead of going with the drop shot, a Texas rig Senko, and a chatterbait, I need to reach out. Maybe for the spring lure challenge, it's a square bill crankbait.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a slow rolled spinnerbait. Maybe it's a micro jig. So that also pushes you. It's like, hey, I want to complete the seasonal challenge. I need to get out of my comfort zone and try some different lures.
So it's not only going to tell you the lure, it's actually going to show you, like you said, slow rolled, right? So it's going to tell you that as a recommendation as well. I need to download it. I probably should have downloaded this before, but this is but you're not going to see my excitement if I already downloaded it. It's like, oh, I'm just learning things along with all y'all. I like it.
Yeah, it'll tell you not only the lure but the technique. So where to fish it, how to present it. That's going to get a lot better when we have our AI agents in place. Like that's when you're going to use it and be like, oh wow, this is better than anything anybody could ever tell me, which is super exciting.
Are you going to get to the point where it's like, oh, not only do I show you the lure, but show you the technique, but maybe a video pops up of this is actually how you retrieve it, stuff like that? Is that on your roadmap? Seems like everything else is.
It absolutely is. Right now we have like linked to some of your videos, like for specific techniques.
Yep.
So scour your YouTube, but absolutely want to build into more of that. And that goes into who's using the app. So we want to lean into more personalization. Are you beginning fishing? You've been fishing for a couple of years. Are you doing tournament fishing, and really tailor it that way?
Yeah.
So if you're a tournament fisher, like you're heavy into tournaments, you probably don't need advice on how to fish a specific technique, right? But if you're just getting into it, never fished a technique before, absolutely watch a video.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Kind of like old school tactical bassing, where they did, beginner, medium, like expert levels. Like I think they did beginner swim bait fishing and then expert swim bait fishing and stuff like that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, totally.
Peeling back the layer of the onion a bit. We have 70 live right now. If you have not yet done so, whatever platform you're on, I would love for you to hit that like button. It's gonna help this video get a little extra coverage by the algorithm. After it's all said and done. Say what?
What I'm hearing is I need to go on there and make little videos for every single lure. That way I can take some of your followers.
There he is. Take them all. Take them freaking all. What patterns has AI uncovered that most anglers completely miss? Have you? Like, you're able to see behind the curtain, right? You're like the Wizard of Oz over here.
Yeah, based on a couple hundred catches that are logged, moon phase doesn't seem to matter.
Really? Okay.
It could be some bias based on the sample of data that we have, like 400 or 500 catches logged. Barometric pressure absolutely matters. So lower and trending down definitely matters. Wind speed definitely matters. Overcast conditions definitely matter. So those are the things that kind of jump out through the analytics.
What's the thing that matters most? And wait till Marty downloads his catches. You're going to have like 70,000 catches too. Like homie catches, well, you were on the show, like over 2,000 bass a year. So my gosh. Someone was joking about it. It's like all your algorithm's going to be recommending is the Neko rig.
Yeah, exactly.
Downloading everything. I know what question I asked you. Oh, which ones matter the most from your data? You're like, oh, wow. I never really thought that barometric pressure would be that highly rated for it. Yeah,
barometric pressure is pretty high, but wind speed has been huge. Like really in that kind of 6 to 9 mile an hour wind speed is where we see most of the catches.
Really? 6 to 9. Huh. All right. Well, I was fishing.
And that's all available today, in the app. Like if you go to the analytics view and you toggle it all bass sum data.
Okay. So we have access to this.
How often do you have to look at it? Like, well, people aren't fishing in 15 mile an hour wind, or like
yeah, you're totally right on that. Like that's just part of, hey, this is self-reporting. Like we're not adjusting for, hey, yeah, it's gale force conditions. Like, please don't be out on your kayak in those conditions. You can't even cast like if it's too windy. So it definitely plays a factor.
I wonder if it's going to start. If it starts telling you like the fish don't bite at night because a lot of people aren't night fishing, so it's going to have a lot of data on the daytime side.
Huh. Yeah, that's where the agents come into play. Because like, hey, fish do bite at night, so we want to make sure it doesn't skew it based on the data that's out there and how people are reporting catches. So a lot more people fish during the daytime.
Yeah, 100%. I got Stinky River Tom over here saying I have been using AI to help me research. It's been helping me a ton. I love it. You got Yak Bass over here. Technical question for you. I have no clue what it means, but it says, what does it mean when it says AI is not configured? Please set open AI endpoint.
Yeah, Yak Bass. So you are on Android. I'm texting my partner right now. That's one of the bugs that we found in our last release that should be fixed by tomorrow. So we just got it working. It has to go through the Android release cycle, so that will be fixed.
Yeah. Gotcha. All right. I got Mac 4. Jim and I had the correct location in lure style at Lake Brownwood. It made the adjustment for the weather change. I'm not necessarily following that. What's he saying there, Sean? Do you know? It sounds like
he's using Google Gemini, which is a large language model from Google, and asking it for recommendations, which absolutely, like, that is powerful. But one of the reasons we created BASSM is for people that don't know how to do that and don't know how to write the prompts to get the right response. We make that easy.
Got it. Michael Bradley's got the question. Is there a version that will cuss at me and tell me to stop being stubborn and try this?
Not yet, but baby.
On the roadmap, Michael. On the roadmap. Yep.
Let me write that down. The grouchy AI coach.
You have logged 3 skunk trips. Stop doing whatever you're doing.
Throw this lure into the trash can right now.
Yeah, I'll have to get AI to simulate Chad Hoover's voice and have it talk to you back in Chad Hoover's voice.
I love it. It's like Navy language. There we go. Here we go. Question from John G. Wilson Fishing. Question: I'm logging a bass I caught today on Lake Sinclair, which I went to the map to select the location. It said Ivy Lake, which is wrong. So wait for me to edit it right.
Yeah, reach out to me. I'll figure out what's going on there. Like it should pick up the location exactly and pick up the name of the lake. Some of the times it isn't completely accurate, but yeah, let me know and I'll make sure that gets updated.
Mm-hmm. So what's one of the feedback that you get? Obviously, I mean, we even had someone in the comment section, which I'm not trying to like throw anybody on their bus, but he was like, I think this is like unethical. And so do you get a lot of that, Sean? A lot of like people who are just like, it should be no electronics and back to the basics. And like, what's your thought process on that? Yeah. I mean, like I said at the beginning of the show, technology is not slowing down. And so you might not like it, but there will always be adopters of technology. And like you said, AI is moving at such a rapid pace. I don't think people fully understand what that really means. So I guess this is a couple questions. One, what's your kind of thought process on it in the context of fishing? And two, when you say it's moving at a rapid pace, like break that down for us, for those of us who are not like in it like you are.
Yeah. Essentially what Bassam AI is and how AI works for fishing, it's your digital logbook. Like, so people forever have been logging their catches and notebooks, in spreadsheets. This is taking it to another level to make it easy, bringing a lot more insights. Mm-hmm. So I don't think it's like doing anything different. Of course, it's using AI to analyze patterns. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like, hey, one of the best pattern recognition things you can do to actually figure out what's working. Because we all have recency bias or confirmation bias and like, hey, this lure works for me in these conditions. AI will give you a reality check. Actually, here's what your data actually says. But as far as the pace of change, so what is it, 3 years ago? Like AI has been around for a long time. Yeah. Like back in the day, they used to call it machine learning. Mm-hmm. But after ChatGPT came out from OpenAI, it really brought AI into the public lexicon. Yeah. And where that was at when it first came out, you heard about hallucinations, the data was wrong. It would tell you misinformation. You really don't hear about that anymore. Like these large language models have gotten so good and so fast and been able to solve extremely complex problems. It's exponential growth. So it's just curving, extremely fast. And I'll get super nerdy for a second. So Please. If you've ever heard of quantum computing, like that is here now. If you ever want to nerd out and hear about science fiction in real life, read the Google white paper from a year and a half ago on quantum computing.
Break it down for us.
White paper, and this is Google, so a reputable company. It's not some guy in his basement. Quantum computing is, so computers are based on ones and zeros. So is a circuit on or off? Quantum computing, a circuit can be on and off at the same time. So instead of base 2, it's base 3 math. And what Google said is quantum computing is the math calculations their quantum computer is able to do is unfathomable. It would take all the known computers in the world like millions of years to do. Like we think it's evidence of alternate realities. I know I'm going off the rails, but just read that paper and you'll be like, is this real life? Like, is it like what? But when you take AI and combine it with quantum computing, that's when our lives are going to drastically change. Because that's when actually you get, super artificial intelligence. Like that is way beyond the scope of this fishing app, but that's just general AI. Like that is going to be a game changer.
So when does AI become scary for bass fishing? Does it? Is there a future within our lifetime? Like, when this whole quantum computer meets fishing, meets fish finders, meets whatever it is else I don't know about it. Like, is there we're going to have an issue that we're going to need to address because we're getting so good at catching fish.
Well, it'll help put you on the fish. But I think forward-facing sonar is probably a little bit more disruptive. Like, it's video game fishing. But whether it's forward-facing sonar or using AI to identify patterns or find places to fish, you still have to be able to catch them. Like, you still have to know, how to fish the technique, like the physicality of it, feel a bite, what's a bite versus a snag. Like, that never goes away. So one of the things AI won't displace is anything that is still physical. Like, yes, robots are going to come in and take away some stuff, but whether it's jobs that are involved in physical trades, like AI isn't going to displace that. It really displaces knowledge work. And so identifying patterns based on your logbook, like that's all knowledge, right? What lures to throw, understanding seasonality in bass fishing, like that's all there today. And it does that really well. But as far as actually going out and catching fish, like that still requires a lot of skill and it will never replace that.
How much easier? My question, I guess, is how much easier can it get? Like, it usually takes someone a lifetime to learn all the knowledge, right? And by the time they, learn all that, they can't fish anymore because they're too old. But we're taking that lifetime, and we're essentially saying it's on your phone.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. That's here now.
Now you got 40 years of smashing them that people didn't used to have, right? So that's pretty significant. And now if you do that at scale.
Yeah, absolutely. That is here now. Yeah. So it's, the information's out there. Like, you could spend years reading books, talking to people, getting experience on the water. That's all knowledge. So AI is disrupting that knowledge and making it available to anyone, whether it's bass fishing, whether it's academics, whether it's day jobs. But you still have to go out and catch fish, with your rod and reel and lure. Like, it isn't going to replace that. Like, the minute fishing robots come out, like that's when I'm done. Like, that takes all the joy out of it.
Do you think, this is a fascinating question, will AI ever replace fishing guides? Because fishing guides, knowledge, right? A lot of times. They're not catching the fish for you. So,
yeah, I think it'll change what they do. So it's still hard to beat going out with somebody who really knows a body of water, the ins and outs. Like, that is just tough to do with AI. Mm-hmm. And getting firsthand knowledge of like, hey, you're retrieving this too fast or cast here, like, isn't going to replace that. So it might change some of the fishing guide knowledge of like, hey, just general insights or general knowledge about a location. But I don't think it displaces them completely. I can even say I'm excited on the 23rd of April going out with a fishing guide on the Susquehanna. I've been fishing there for 20 years. Yeah, I use AI for fishing, but this guy says he catches 10,000 fish a year on the Susquehanna. Like, I want to learn from him hands-on. Like, what are you throwing? Where are you throwing it? Like, that is still so nuanced kind of in our sport that it doesn't replace guides completely.
Here's a different angle to that question. Although it may not replace guides, will it replace the felt need for a guide? If someone has all this information available to them on their phone and it feels like, oh, this is more information than I can even like synthesize in my own brain, I can't even understand the information that's available to me now. Why would I pay for a guide? Do you think that happens more? Because that, like, logically, that makes sense for me.
Yeah, I think a little bit, but I don't think it displaces them completely. Like, going out on a boat with somebody who knows the water, like, you can't beat that.
Yeah. Do you get a lot of people who are skeptical of this whole thing, what you're doing? Like, what are some of their, like, outside of saying I'm a little bit skeptical? Like, what are ways that people say that to you?
Yeah, like, is it ethical? Like, are you gonna ruin the sport? But I would say overall it's been supportive. But it's really, hey, the technology's here. Whether there's an app for it or you use, some people mentioned Gemini or Grok, like, it's kind of doing the same thing. We just make it easy. There are skeptics of like, how good can it be? Like, right now it's okay. Like, I'll be the first person to acknowledge that. Like, it's within a year since this whole idea even came about. So we got it to market extremely quick. But I think by the end of the year, we're going to get it really good for giving advice.
Yeah. No, I like it. Stinky River Tom, my man, pushing through some cash my way. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. He's got a question here. He's like, hey, I have been working on a Claude Muskie AI co-work team of agents that helps me with river muskie fishing, pulling lunar phases, depth data, river flow data. How can I incorporate this tool to help me for non-bass fishing?
Yeah. So Tom, you're one up on me. So I mentioned a couple times getting into AI agents for bass fishing. That's what it's geared around. Like, yeah, you can do it for muskie too. I mean, muskie are a whole different beast when you talk about fishing. But yeah, I would love, like, Tom, if you want to hit me up, would love to see what you're doing. Like, just to learn from you and, see how it's going.
Yeah. I'm trying to read this comment down here real fast. Wyatt, any thoughts on or final? We're at 121. I usually start landing the plane around here. If you guys have a last minute question, go ahead and throw that into the comment section. What do you got, Wyatt?
Oh, yeah. I'm just processing all of it.
Yeah, what's your thoughts? So break it down. Now you know what the app does. Are you using this thing? You're like, hey, I think this would actually be, because the idea here is that you can't remember. You think you can remember all the things that you're doing,
You can't.
but you can't remember it like AI, right? You're not going to be able to take all the weather data and all this stuff and remember all of that. So
yeah, I mean, like the golden thing that kind of was sticking in my brain at the beginning of this was, so a couple of years ago, I went and fished down in Harris Chain in Florida, and my buddy and I got on a spot that was loaded with pre-spawn fish. I mean, he caught 113 and I caught 107 in like an hour and a half. The 2 years later, on the exact same day, seemingly the same weather conditions, I went out to that same spot and caught nada. So being able to punch that in and seeing what conditions am I missing? What else is out there? Punching those fish from that day and then punch in the day, because I mean it was down to the exact same day. Like what other data am I missing and where should I be looking? So stuff like that where I don't I get at a loss for in my brain at a loss for I caught him here last year. It's the same seemingly conditions. Where should I go next? What's the next step?
Yeah,
I think that's going to help.
Absolutely.
Just what Wyatt needed, some more information to make him more lethal. You got the mudfoot. I don't know if I fully understand this question, but I think you might, Sean. Fishbrain has 20 million catches logged, and once they feed that into an LLM, I guess I'm not familiar with an LLM, but you're shaking your head like you do. They will. You're right. They will have some interesting results. What is the value proposition of your app when that happens?
Yeah, I would say we're first movers in this space, but yeah, Fishbrain is the gorilla in the room, right? Like they have a ton of catches logged, but what's fundamentally different between Baslam and Fishbrain is we don't share exactly where you caught the fish with other people. This isn't a social media app. So I would say the value proposition of the apps are fundamentally different. Baslam is for you personally. It's your information. We do show trends like from other people, stuff that's general. But Fishbrain, you can go and see exact spots on a body of water where people caught fish. Like we don't want to do that. We don't. Yeah, exactly. We don't want to burn those spots. Like that's not who we are.
Yeah. Now, I guess I will ask a question. You said that's not who we are. Is there ever a day where you're like, hey, we might do this?
No. That's one of our principles.
Got it. Part of your DNA. Never going to happen, folks, in case you wondered. No matter how much money they throw at them. So this is an interesting comment coming from Hunting and Fishing Oklahoma. And I want to get your thoughts because I feel like it's more than this. I can see where it can help the new anglers that are just starting out and trying to figure out what lures they need to buy. And what would your response be to that?
Yeah, that is absolutely true. I don't think it's just for new anglers, like people that are more advanced that do tournament fishing, like Wyatt's example. Like, hey, I was down here last year, same spot. Everything I remember stays the same, but we can generate those insights of like, actually, maybe the barometric pressure was different. Maybe moon phase does matter. Maybe it's wind speed. So it's things that you might, like our human brains really can't remember. We're doing that for, tournament fishermen, more advanced fishermen. So I think the analytics really come into play for people who are more advanced.
Yeah, that's what I love about it. It's like, okay, I don't necessarily need a lure. I might take a look at it, but what I love is just having all of my analytics being coalesced into a dashboard. Like that's
absolutely. Like the AI trip planner, the AI coach is for people who are more in the beginner to novice. But if you're more advanced, your digital logbook enriched with a ton of data and being able to view that in analytics like that, that's powerful for anybody at any level.
Yeah, 100%. We got Ben Fishing 85, new angler here, still saving for my first kayak. This type of info is priceless to me. Awesome, man. Glad you're getting some value out of the live. 60 people live right now. Appreciate y'all chiming in and learning about this. Sean, what's one question I didn't ask that I should have?
I think you covered it.
Wow. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys having me on, waiting to see where Wyatt ends up. And yeah, excited about to see where Bass Thumb goes over the next year.
Yeah.
It's been a pretty quick ride so far.
I'm sure. Silverpunk 2427 is a trip planner active. It says AI is not configured.
Yeah, Silverpunk, you're on Android. Yeah. I'm gonna text my partner right now to see where we're at with the release. So it should be fixed by tomorrow.
Your partner's gonna be like, what in the world? You need
it is the joy of like developing a team of people or an army to like say, hey, this needs to be fixed. It's me and him. Like that. Yeah. That's what it is.
How long is your roadmap? Because I would imagine you think of new things. Sky's the limit, really.
Yeah. I have I have a lot of experience in my day job as a product manager. And what that means is building software and products. Been doing that in financial services for the past 20 plus years. So I keep a high level roadmap, at least a year out, like a year to 18 months, focus it on the next quarter and get granular on specific features to build in.
Mm-hmm. So, well, Wyatt, any other thoughts, comments, questions?
I'm gonna start punching them in here as I use it. I do have a tournament this weekend, so I'll punch all those fish in there.
I'd be fascinated to see kind of what you come up with, Wyatt, because I know you probably only take pictures of large fish, and you have a big history of those. So this will be interesting. We'll have to circle back and maybe on the next show and be like, hey, what's some of your analytics actually telling you? So this will be good. It's be really good. Well, Sean, appreciate you. If you have not yet done so, head over to bassthumbai.com. Did I get that right?
Yep, you nailed it.
And also, where's the other places that you're on social? Like, where's your home bases over there?
Yeah, you can go hit us up on Instagram. So Bass Thumb AI. I'm personally on Instagram. Sean at Bass Thumb AI or Bass Thumb AI Sean on Instagram. Also on either of those places. Keep up with, at least on the Instagram side, we share, latest features, new release information. So it's a good way to keep up with the pulse of what's going on.
Yeah. And real quick, if you have not yet downloaded it, you might want to do that before it starts being freemium. So you can get grandfathered in, start using that. Hopefully this helps you guys put more fish in your kayak. And Sean, appreciate your time. Wyatt, appreciate you. And thank you all for listening in. And we will see you. Do we have something next Tuesday? I never remember. I feel like I have something. I think we have it. I just don't know if I have a guest net. Anyways, we'll see you next Tuesday night or the following Tuesday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern on the Kayak Fishing Obsessed podcast. Y'all have a good one. See ya.